Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I don't know why I decided to do a YouTube video when I just started washing my toes. So, if you hear my laundry in the back, don't pay it no mind. I just got done flat under my hair. I'm trying to figure out if I want to cut it off. We're gonna figure out before the end of this video. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna try to do my makeup and talk to y'all at the same time. I don't know how the influencer girlies are able to do this. And I really don't have a list that I'm going by for real. But I wanted to talk about like the things that I've learned in my later years that I wish I would have known in my 20s. And if you were a younger girl and you watching this, maybe this will save your ass some stress, because I don't have like an older sister. And my older brother only got me about like a couple of months, so they don't count for real. So yeah, let's get right into it. So one of the major things that I noticed that I've suffered with, that I should have had a handle on, is communication. Communication and standing up for myself. Because, baby, I would have been saved from a lot of stuff. And it's kind of like one of the things that I do as far as like therapy on myself and doing work on myself to try to figure out, okay, what we doing next, is I've been real big on like, how did I break my own heart, or self-accountability. And one of the things I noticed was I've always been a people pleaser. And it's more so, it's like in my mind, I guess I would think like, if I would say what I was feeling or something like that, then a person would leave my life, and then it's just like, what was me? It all goes back to being alone and shit. Some childhood trauma shit. That's number two. Number two is if you got some bad childhood trauma, and sometimes you don't even really realize how traumatized you are because you're so used to surviving. But once you sit back and realize, like, and try to make yourself like a better person, then you realize how much your childhood affects your adulthood. And I think it's kind of sad when people don't agree with that or don't understand, but I'm like, your childhood is your building blocks. You know what I mean? So once I start realizing that all went back to me being afraid of being alone, it's just like, damn. Like, bitch, you're about to be 37. And that should sound crazy saying that out loud, because I almost been out of high school for 20 years. And that sounds crazy to me too, because what? Like, my son about to graduate next year. It don't make any sense. And I don't know. It's startling. I feel like I'm just now like really getting to learn me more, you know? And it's kind of scary. I'm not gonna hold you. Number three. I don't know. It could be number three. Number three is go tunnel vision on something that you want. I think my problem was when I was younger is we didn't have like a lot of social media. Like, it was just like really new and stuff like that. And I've always like wanted to model or do something in the arts industry or whatever. And back then it was pressed upon us to like, you know, go to school, go to school, go to school. And like at the time, like that's all my mom knew, you know what I mean? So she really wasn't getting where I was coming from about like me being a model. So everything in this world right now is different. Like everything. All of that shit they try to sell us on when we was younger. And you're supposed to go to school. You're supposed to get this job. You're supposed to get this house. You're supposed to marry this person. Like, all of that shit is not even, you know, it's not even as realistic no more. Girl, because I remember when I first had my first apartment, it was $2 a month. It was $2 a month because it was income based. It was just me and my son. My best friend ended up moving in with me. And that was all. Nowadays, kids are having to stay with their parents until shit, they like well into their 20s, because the economy is just not like it was. This is not my shade. This is definitely not my shade. It's like way darker, but it's cool. We gonna get it together. you know, they be having to stay with their parents till they well into their 20s. And the advice that I've been giving my son, or like people that's younger than me, is really do what you want to do, you know? Like, if all of the rules that you think that you're supposed to follow and all of that shit, it's not even real for real. Like, do what you want to do. And I feel like I placed my dreams on hold because, one, it wasn't just like I said, the norm back then, and two, I was so busy running around trying to fill a void that was there that I really didn't understand until recently, like later in my 30s, not like today. Number 4, be selfish. Be selfish. I don't care how many times I gotta say this. Be selfish. Because at the end of the day, it's just gonna be you. My mom used to always tell me, this is how you know I'm getting old. My mom used to always say, like, Janae, all you gotta do is worry about yourself. Like, not too much, because I still got this Christmas tree up, this little Christmas tree. And Jay just told me the other day, like, girl, why is this Christmas tree still up? I'm gonna put it up. But she used to always tell me, like, you don't have anything to worry about or anybody to worry about. Just worry about yourself. This is before I had my son. And I never truly, like, understood what she was talking about, because I've always been, like, really empathetic and, like, huge empath. And really, like, wanted to always help and wanted to always be there for people. But that sounds good when you're listening to it. But in hindsight, I've learned, like, you really don't have anything left for yourself. If you're doing everything else for everybody else, you don't have anything left for yourself. And so I feel like when I let people get close to me, and shit, I can count that on one hand, barely, I really take things, like, so much more personal. And it, like, because I don't let, like, a lot of people in. I'm always the one that's, you know, giving advice and telling people this and telling people that. So when I actually let a person in, shit just hit harder than when it needs to hit harder. At this point, I'm just rambling. I don't know what rule I'm on. But another thing I would say is I really wish that I had, like, a ground level to where I knew what my boundaries were, because, baby, I lacked boundaries. Now that's something that I literally just learned recently. That's something that I really wish I enforced within myself in my 20s. Because, again, it was more so, I'm very go with the flow. I'm very, like, passive and laid back, which I still am to a certain extent. But who gonna take care of me? You know? And I had to tell myself that, like, who gonna take care of me if I take care of everybody else? And it's just, like, so much. And I hear a lot when people be like, oh, I'm an empath, da da da. Like, the shit is not fun. It's not fun. Like, when I say I'm an empath, I can walk into a room with somebody that I love, and if they're not feeling well, I can feel that. Or I can have a dream and that shit come to fruition. Like, it's like very, very deep on a spiritual level. And I've noticed as I'm getting older and I spend more time, like, with myself, that my senses are more heightened when it comes to, like, a lot of stuff spiritually. And I'm learning, like, that I have to put boundaries on stuff. I've definitely put myself on a back burner for years. Because I don't want to be by myself. That's what it all boils down to. Another thing is, you cannot, I wish I would have known this. Girl, I needed to know this shit at 15, 16. You could not fix people. You cannot change people. Only thing that I can change or shift around here is me. I can, and I had it bad, baby. I had it bad. Somebody would tell me something, baby, they could treat me like scum of the earth, shit, whatever. And I'm just gonna be holding on to the fact that, damn, he went through such and such, and he went through X, Y, and Z, or you know what I mean? Like, you can't fix people. You can't try to make everything better. So I guess people pleasing and like people fixing go hand in hand. That shit ain't never gonna work. You'll lose your damn mind trying to, I don't know. If a person is lacking in a certain area, you can bring stuff to their attention, but you can't do the work for them. And that's been very, very hard for me in my 20s, because girl, it's like, what's the name of that damn movie? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It had like Vivica Fox. It was all women. I was just talking to my homegirl about this the other day. But anyway, the girl like had picked up Bobby Brown, and Bobby Brown was all like dusty and shit. And like she turned that man into something. A fly, he got his teeth done, he got all this other stuff, you know what I mean? Like, no, don't do that shit. Like, people be looking at people as projects and they think like, oh, okay, well, if I do X, Y, and Z, they'll stay, or different stuff like that. Hell no, Bobby seen that mirror that one day and went crazy on her ass, and she over there boo-hooing on her friend's couch because she thought she could fix that man. Janae, you can't fix nobody. You can't fix nobody but your damn self. That was a heavy thing that I'm learning. And rule number 567 that I wish I would have known in my 20s was invest in myself and really believe this shit, because I have so many talents and I just didn't believe in myself, or I feel like I needed somebody's opinion to solidify that what my dream was is something that I needed to do. And hear yourself saying that out loud, like in hindsight, that shit sounds crazy. Like, no, you don't need nobody say so and nothing. It's okay for you to ask your friends like, hey, what do you feel about this art piece that I did, and blase. That's cool. But don't make it to where your whole soul existence is like based on everybody else's opinion, to where you gonna change all your shit around just so that person can like it. Like, oh my gosh, it's so much shit, y'all. It's so much shit. Look, listen to me if you in your 20s. Listen to me, baby. Like, it's the time that I've wasted worrying about small shit, worrying about people that wasn't worried about me. It's just like been keeping me up at night. Like, I have not been really going to sleep. I think I go to sleep at like 6 or 7 in the damn morning. I don't know. I've literally not been getting rest. Like, that's my mind just been fucking spinning. Just so much realization of things that I've done wrong, or moves that I should have did and I didn't. Like, that shit will eat you alive. Another thing, I know we all gotta pay these bills. Like I said, a lot of y'all that's in y'all 20s or some, like in y'all early 30s, may still be with your parents or roommates or something like that. And it is easier said than done, because I still be having to remind myself of this. But it's so important for you to like get life experiences and really see what's going on in the world. And I think like we're programmed so much to where a lot of us have been like in survivor mode, or always constantly worried about what bills need to be paid next, and all this other shit. You really don't get a chance to like experience anything because you always in your head about stuff. Yeah, I heard that shit. It sounds like Transformers in the background. I'm so sorry. But one of the things that I'm gonna be doing this year, I had started a list a couple years ago, and it was a list of things that I wanted to do. But it's turned into a list that I'm just gonna be able to do by myself and do the experiences by myself. And I really wanna go to like picnics, everything, anything that comes to your mind while you young, do that shit. Do that shit right now. And even if you be like, I ain't got the money to da da da, baby, use Klarna, use Afterpay, cause they been my go-to girlies for real. Because obviously I'm still in my 30s, but I would hate for certain people to get to my age and not have like no experience, no sense of self, no nothing. Like I literally feel like I'm just starting from scratch. Now, when it comes to dating, like if I could tell myself in my 20s and stuff now, baby, go on that date. Go on that date. If that man or that woman want to take you out, long as they actually are talking about something intellectual, like don't be in fear of going, or don't walk in fear. That's the biggest thing. My dating life has been like super non-existent. There's gonna be a whole nother video because I got dating in the 30s videos coming up. But I would say to get them damn experiences, go on a date, go on like with different people. That is what dating is for. I must have gotten to it with somebody on TikTok because he was talking about like bottle girls or whatever, like only going out for dates for dinners. And I don't know, hoes do really be doing that for real. And I mean hoes loosely, not like hoes. But how are you supposed to know what you like if you only talk to one or two people like your whole lifetime? You know? Or if you put your feelings into shit so deep to where it break your ass down, you're not able to recuperate. That's not healthy. That has always been my problem. Like I care way too goddamn much. That's why I didn't date around at that age. And I just put up with like the smallest, like the stupidest shit, y'all. Oh my gosh. I really wish I could slap myself. I really wish I could slap myself. Like, if I could save anybody, goddamn. Look, listen, Linda. You are the shit. Like, for real? That should be like ingrained in your mind. And I don't give a damn. Like, when anybody say, or you feel like you ain't got certain shit, or you ain't accomplished this, that, and the other in your life, baby, I would go back and hug myself so tight and wouldn't have put up with certain situations. Girl, all of that from avoiding of being alone, just to end up being alone. It's fucking crazy. Like, child, if the actions and the words don't fit, don't let them waste your motherfucking time. Don't let them waste your time. Now some people done got real good to where you really think everything is a line, but once you really start getting your discernment and start being true with like your boundaries and everything, and actually knowing, like, have a sense of self, that's gonna be so easy. Because I used to go off of expectations. That's been my problem since my 20s. Like, just because I do something for somebody, I assumed that they were going to do something on top of that. Not accepting people for who they are. That's one of the biggest things as well. Because as much as I've wanted to change certain people or certain circumstances around that age, That wasn't my job. And just because I seen it in them, you know what I mean? That don't mean that they gonna change just for me. So take people at face value. I wish I would have taken people at face value. That goes hand in hand with that old phrase that be like, if they wanted to, they would. Baby, if they wanted to, they would. Simple. I'm using this one size on my face to bake for a little bit. I'm just going for a real bright under eye because I might take some little pictures or videos or something. I told myself this year I was going to take more pictures of myself. I haven't really just been creative since I left home. Like, I don't really miss home as a whole. I think I just miss the comfortability and, of course, certain people. Yeah. So we gonna let this bake. Don't worry, we ain't about to be looking right. Be yourself. And I noticed, like, you know, everybody wanna be in the girl, I cannot find my brush. I'm gonna have to use this. Everybody wanna be, you know, in the influence era and stuff like that. But I've been realizing, like, it's so many copycats. This is not even a brush I was supposed to be using. I don't know where my brush is. There's so many copycats to where it's like a lack originality down to the damn movies. Cause I feel like, am I the only one that feel like did they just keep on recreating the same fucking movie from my childhood? Like, it's rare that I've taken my son or my nieces to the movie theater and it's actually a new movie. Like, literally all they doing is recreating the same thing over and over. And it's kind of like if we all look like each other and all dress like each other and do everything, like, what the hell? There's not gonna be any individuality nowhere around here. I don't feel like it is right now anyway. That shit is weird. I don't know what the narrative is, but heavy on being yourself. And that had been my fucking song and dance for forever. Like, oh my gosh, if I could just fucking pick up weight, or if I could just, if my hair wasn't this much, girl, blah, 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 blah. Everything that you complaining about right now. I had a friend that told me, and this was a couple years ago, and I didn't even notice that I was doing it. I probably was complaining about something about myself, and I tend to do that a lot. But it was so bad to where I didn't realize that I was doing it until she was just like, you need to, like, watch what you say about yourself in front of Jay, because he's gonna hear that and he gonna start thinking like that. And it was like, damn, like, it really hit me like, girl, get your shit together. Because one thing about it is, kids are gonna remember, just like I said earlier about childhood being the building block, kids are gonna remember that type of shit. And oh my gosh, I've always felt like when I was in my 20s and I was going out and shit like that, it was just kind of like, I really just went out just to, like, get dressed and go, but I never felt like that I've just fit in the club scene, you know? I was just pretty much there, like, on some friend shit. So if you can, start your journey now with the self-love thing. The self-love journey, start that shit right now. And I think social media has it to where people just correlate, like, self-love with, like, oh, let me go get my makeup done, let me go get my nails done, let me go shopping, da 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 da. But those are things to, you know, make yourself feel good and be presentable and things like that, of course. But that really doesn't signify, like, you having love for yourself. Because where is all of that love when you wipe all that stuff off at the end of the night? You know what I mean? Like, obviously you have to learn something in your 20s, because it's kind of like, otherwise what you gonna get to when you get to your 30s? But if you could just take, like, little tad bits of information while you doing it, That's gonna help you out in the long run. And I'm even like some on some old school shit, cause you know, my grandmother used to always back in the day, my ass. You know, back in my day, having ass, and you know, we used to always think that something was funny, like, oh my gosh, they was talking about, girl, here we are, here go my ass talking about back in my day. I'm sitting up last night looking old Facebook pictures from 2011. The whole time. It should just be passing so fast, and I just hate that I've wasted so much time, man. I've wasted so much time, and primarily wasted so much time in others. And I really hate that I damn near abandoned myself, basically, because all of that shit that you invest into other people, emotionally, physically, some of y'all be breaking the bank and shit like that, man. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. And I ain't telling y'all to be no cold ass people, because that could never be me. That's been my problem my whole life. And it's probably gonna still be. It's not gonna be a problem anymore. I'm just calling it like more so a blessing, except for now I'm learning how to balance myself out. I'm learning how to not rely on nobody. Cause at the end of the day, baby, ain't nobody gonna love you unconditionally like your mama and your kids. Everybody else will be on the wayside. And I got a close ass, well, I can't even say circle, but you know what I mean. Like, I got some close people. Okay, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know why I use these rollers, because last time I tried to use them, that shit was horrible taking them out. Like, they just don't work on my hair. I don't know. Let's try again. Hell no, that sounds like when somebody is eating an apple or something. Maybe I'm supposed to keep these hoes in overnight. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, my last final thing. I don't know what number we on. We stopped counting a long time ago, friends. The last final thing I would tell myself if I was a fresh girly in my 20s would be live, baby. Just live. Stop taking everything so serious. Stop caring so much about everybody around you. Stop giving up about what people think about you. If they want to leave, let them damn leave. It is not the end of the world, girl. It's fucking billions of people on this planet, and you sitting up here self-sabotaging yourself because, wait, you don't want to be alone? Like, girl, please. Like I said at the beginning of the video, travel, get you a little passport. I'm just now about to get me a little passport this year. I was the last one. The last one. Well, not really, but the last one of my people that's here that don't have no damn passport. So I'll say get your travel on. Anything that you want to do that comes to mind, go. And I love my son to death. Swear to God, I love my son to death. But I would have went way harder on my dream as far as wanting to be a model. Like, I wouldn't have let parenthood be like a crutch, you know what I mean? Or be used as a crutch. The scam callers must be stopped. And if you can, because I didn't get to, I would tell myself to wait. All that love you seeking, all of that, you know what I mean? That validation from other people. Get that shit from yourself. And again, it might be a little tougher for y'all nowadays, because especially when you all gone and you see, you know, all these different women and everybody got all these different bags and cars and stuff. But fuck all that. That shit is not important, and it won't be important in the long run. Yeah. See what I'm saying, y'all? I don't know. It's giving. I want to cut this shit into a bob. Probably like, I'm probably about to cut like this much off. Because I think last February, if I'm not mistaken. No, February before last, I cut my hair into a bob. And it was like this short. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I have my sister maybe cut it for me. I'm about to maybe swirl my edges, finish the rest of my makeup. If you stay to the end of this video, I love y'all. I love y'all. And if y'all from the Clock app, I really love y'all. And it was pretty sporadic, but I feel like that's the best thing going with old school YouTube. I don't like lessons and structure and shit like that, especially when you come to YouTube. It's about you, you know? And I'm a sporadic ass person, so anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if people still say that either. And if not, then I'm still going to be posting. And I'm about to figure out this hair. And I'll see y'all in the next video.